Hi guys, welcome back to more episodes of The Americans. We're on episode 4, coming up next. That last one opened up a bit of development of one of our characters here, the wife, because they were trying to ascertain precisely what happened to Robert because of his wife showing up that nobody knew about. And he had no clue that she was having some sort of romantic involvement away from the arranged marriage that they have for obvious reasons, even though they've had 2 kids, and that was her escape. I think it hurt him to an extent, but he's hard to read. I'll be honest, at the moment it is actually quite hard to read because he's very stoic in one moment and then in another moment quite emotional. But we already know he's had serious misgivings about what they're doing and how quickly everything has moved on, and the timeline's moving on very quickly, and the missions that are being given. And the unfortunate thing at the end of that last episode was, because her husband's dead, this whole facade of the granny, we don't know her name yet, who was brought in to take her to, where was it? I can't remember where it was now. Was it Cuba? I can't remember where it was. Somewhere completely inappropriate anyway, but we knew that wouldn't happen. The kid's gone back to his parents. She's found dead with a needle on her arm. It's just a shame. I'm loving the show. I love when it's set. I am getting on board with our 2 main man and wife. We don't really know much about their kids, but that's kind of I think feeling as though that's more of a backstory. So let's carry on. This is episode 4.
On his way back to Bucharest with 3 pounds of marijuana.
3 pounds? Well, he either really likes the stuff or that's a commie with a little business instinct.
Why don't you guys take a run at him? See if he wants to keep his balls.
Well, they did then. They don't so much now. Is this what I think it is? Oh, okay. Not love or attraction, but orders.
Get in the vault. The president's been shot.
Let's go, people. Right now. Come on.
Reagan? Oh, God, I remember this.
This is the moment of the first gunshot. Secret Serviceman Jerry Parr falls on the president, pushes him.
I need to know where every KGB officer in the country is and what they've been doing for the past 24 hours.
What happened? A 22 caliber
just
bullet,
here.
Possibly as many as 6 shots from... And the Secretary of State in that order. And should the president decide he wants to transfer the helm to the vice president, he will do so.
What's happening?
The president's been shot.
Oh my God, is he okay?
Nobody knows. News says he's in surgery.
I'll see you at home.
Look for connections to the Soviet Union and the Communist Party.
Since they closed the doors at George Washington, no actual information is getting out. Reagan's cronies love me. There's nothing better than a former socialist turned conservative, raising the hue and cry about the evils of communism, but...
What about the names of the nursing staff, those who were around the president? Can you get me those?
Frankly, I hope the bastard bleeds to death on the operating table.
Your commitment to the struggle always was total.
No time for signals today, I'm afraid. You need to gather your supplies for Operation Christopher.
What does that mean?
I've heard so much about you, Elizabeth. What you've done. I think we'll do great things together.
Did we do this?
I don't think so, but they may try to pin it on us.
But Operation Christopher.
Which is?
You think this is headed toward guerrilla warfare?
We need to know who's in control of the American government, and we need up-to-date intelligence on any efforts to blame us for the assassination attempt.
Hello?
It was a media
Hi, this is
frenzy.
Richard Deutsch from the Kennedy Center. I had a few questions come up about the friendship concert.
This is not a good day.
Well, there's a
He
few
knows that.
logistical problems we're dealing with here. I'm sorry, my supervisor said there's a deadline with our schedule.
He needs to talk to him.
Трудно поверить, что его не стало. Эта определенность может еще долго протянуться. Любой женщине нужна опора.
Спасибо. Не надо.
Because it comes with conditions. It always does. Oh. It was rigged. It was definitely rigged. Jesus. Good God.
We're gonna need a government car.
I'll signal Gregory.
Denny Sakuda's been arranged to take Reagan out.
Thing over and over.
What are they supposed to show?
I don't know. Oh my God! Finally, the bullet missed.
President could die, you know.
You'd get a warning first.
When do you need it back? 2 hours, tops.
Car.
На углу номер 17 есть бар. Там обычно собираются помощники конгрессменов. Я думала, может, мне там стоит посидеть? Вдруг удастся узнать что-нибудь важное.
Smart.
Как вернетесь, сразу доложите мне. И только мне.
Dana Simon?
We're rooting for them, aren't we?
I'm Justin Nezer.
No, it's for Russia.
This is Kelly Mainstill. We're Deputy Chiefs of Staff with the Vice President's office. We need to talk to you.
On a day like today, there can be a lot of miscommunication and misinformation, and it's our job to make absolutely certain that the Vice President knows what's going on, about the President's condition is true.
Yes. Yes. He's okay. He's gonna pull through.
Good, good. We're very relieved to hear that.
There you go, they got the
We're
info
really
there.
hoping that we can count on you to keep this meeting confidential. I'll get a message to either of us. If anything changes or if there's anything you think we should know, please give us a call.
Yeah. Here's a pen from the Vice President's office.
Very, very expertly well done and under the radar for her to not question that at all. Guts and the metabolism to have to handle the stress, I don't think. You don't need to be James Bond. Those guys in the car there. Yeah. Yeah.
722. F66.
Coded message.
342.
Expected to survive.
Hopefully that's that.
Yeah.
Let's check the site again. Well, you almost defected a few weeks ago, Philip, so maybe you're not the one to be passing judgment
That
on
is
whether
true.
or not Moscow is overreacting. Do you think you could just do what we need to do?
If anybody knows what form of encryption that was that they were using there, coding that message back with the antenna, let me know, because
Anything on it?
I'm not well versed in the technology that the opposing side would have had.
Neighborhood security, first pass.
If Weinberger's car is parked out front, you've got 6 seconds from the front door.
Oh, hi.
But I'm gonna need you to step over to my car first.
Oh, sure. Of course.
Is there someone in the van with you?
It's just my husband. Look, we're just trying to get to Washington.
I'm gonna need to call this in.
That's
The
actually a
McLean
mistake.
police are gonna... Sorry, ma'am, you don't look like a burglar, but we've got to call in on every vehicle parked alongside
He's not a cop
the
though,
road.
is he? He's just security. Fuck. Yeah, fingerprints are now all over that car. Wow.
We just killed a security guard down the street from a Secretary of Defense. We're riding around with enough explosives to blow up half the government buildings in D.C. We're mapping sniper shots.
The Americans are capable of anything. Do you listen to what they say about us?
Do you listen to yourself when you talk about them?
What is that supposed to mean?
Nothing. Forget it.
Are you clean?
Hope so.
Are you all right?
You can't do that. You can't call me at the embassy ever.
Everything will be locked.
You trying to get me killed? Is that what you want? You want to get me killed?
It's gonna be all right. I promise you it's gonna be okay. What do you know about the assassination attempt?
I don't know anything. Everyone is freaking out while running around like cut-off chickens.
With their heads cut off.
What? You think this is a joke?
No, I don't think this is a joke, Nina.
He's one of your top generals, and he's announced he's taking control. What would you call that?
No, that's not what happened.
Both sides have their fingers on the trigger.
And that's how it happens.
Yeah. That's how quickly it escalates.
One mistake.
Just like Elizabeth's just done, actually.
The crews who are normally on alert 24 hours a day are moving from the base to planes, which saves 3.5 to 4 minutes if they need to get in the air. Where the hell did Haig get nuclear football?
He's got the football.
You convinced now?
No, I'm not. Because it's not clear.
No, it isn't clear because
He sounded upset.
There's
He said
gaps.
General Haig get, and he made a reference to the copy of the briefcase with the missile launch codes that could authorize a nuclear attack.
the nuclear football.
We need to get this to Moscow. Nobody can challenge him if he has the capability to launch America's nuclear arsenal.
You still really don't understand this place. Haig could have 10 nuclear footballs. This still wouldn't be a coup. And our command control isn't quite state of the art. We will escalate, they will escalate, this thing will spin out of control.
And then
so can you please?
There'll be a war.
Because you look good in an American suit.
What?
Because everybody loves talking to you because you think like the kids do. Not having all of these things. It being about something bigger than just myself.
I remember too. That doesn't belie me to what's in front of my face. But the last 2 times our leaders died, our government pretended they weren't dead for weeks. Things are different here. I say our job is to try and stop that from happening. And you know what we're going to do? For once, we're going to do it my way.
She is pure and simply seeing this as a Russian KGB agent. She's not reading how the American way goes.
Are you sure?
And yeah, Al
As far
would
as she
not
knows,
be
the Soviets have
doing a
nothing to do
coup.
with anything.
The AG is on the line for you.
And the whole point here is, you know, we know from enough, you know, we don't know anything official, but we're seeing enough TV shows and documentaries and movies and God knows what else that are based on fact, that there is no copy of a nuclear football. You don't have a briefcase that can launch nukes and then make loads of copies of them and have them dotted all around different government buildings. There's one, right? And the president doesn't just keep that in his drawer and can press a button whenever he wants without anybody knowing. I understand what he's saying here is that he's gotten in touch more with the way the American ways and government and politics work, and she's kept more of a closed mind on it. But he's right with one thing. As agents, it's your job to not relay back information which can be interpreted by Moscow as more of a threat, to raise the alert level more, like you said, for them to escalate and then the Americans to escalate. And that's how you end up with a bunch of people in a room all pointing guns at each other, loaded. That's how you actually start war.
I saw the car. There was glare from the street light. I couldn't see their faces. I couldn't see the license plate, but I saw the car.
Look, you know what, Chris? Next time you get glare kicked back at you, just put it out on the radio.
Yeah, I mean, Henry's still so young. I don't think he really even gets it, which is fine.
And Paige is a teenager, so, you know, who knows? So, were you involved in this at work?
Oh, yeah, we all were.
Right.
They're talking about war. I mean, how worried do we need to be?
Oh, no, this is all going to blow over. Peek at the file of the guy who shot the president, Hinckley, and he is totally nuts, 100%.
Really?
Yeah, he actually thought he was going to impress this movie star, Jodie Foster.
So you got to investigate him. I thought you worked against spies.
Counterintelligence, yeah, but we were worried that the Russians might have been involved, so we had to check that out. But it turns out that they weren't.
No.
Which is a good thing because, you know, that
would be a problem.
That could have started World War III.
Little bit of instability of peace that we currently have.
Но он же принес это для нас.
Нет. В жизни нужно рассчитывать только на саму себя. Ты слышишь меня? Только на себя.
You know, I was happy. I was happy when we were in St. Louis. And then we just, you know, suddenly move here and start this whole life. And
you're married to
I
the
thought
job.
you wanted me to take this job to come to D.C.
I did.
You
never talked to me.
I was living with psycho militants for too long, okay? I don't know how to...
How to what?
It just doesn't feel like it did before.
I'm glad we did it your way this time.
It all worked out. If Moscow ever finds out we sat on the Hague intelligence, we're finished.
I won't tell if you won't.
It started to feel like there's a little bit of a conflict of interest going on here. This show's going to get complicated. That was a very interesting episode, as I said in commentary, because they've put historical and political fact right in front of us, only 4 episodes in, showing the tensions as to how quickly and easily things can escalate based on suppositions, based on false information, and if you don't relay the right information, how quickly that can just go up the chain of command on either side and be blown completely out of proportion. I feel he was right here and Elizabeth was jumping the gun, and he put his foot down and he was right to do so. But this FBI guy pulling his CI out of the embassy was a risky maneuver with how much panic stations he knew that would be going on, because the same panic stations were going back on to the FBI. He knew that's what would be going on at the embassy and calling there. And him saying, oh, no, I weren't followed. And, that's what I do. I do the following. Yeah, so do they. They're every bit as good as you. And they're every bit as good as you because you've got 2 agents living across the road from you and you ain't got a fucking clue. They're every bit of, each side is as good at their job. It's why it was known as a Cold War. It's why it dragged on for so long. But I really enjoyed that episode, and I do actually recall that attempted assassination by Hinckley all those years ago. I would have only been a teenager. I can't remember which year it was. I'm sure I could go look it up, but I'm not going to. Right. So there's trouble on the home front with him and his wife as well, which has just been produced, with him being away so much, them relocating here, him being undercover for so long, and with today's events as well. And our two agents are, I don't know, they're trying to rekindle a relationship that's not meant to be there, that's for show, that's for front. But I don't know, I feel like they are sort of keeping each other in check depending on what's actually happening, what's going on, what current mission or task that it is that they're been asked to do. I don't want method encryption thing that was. It doesn't matter if no one doesn't know, but if you do, let me know in the comments. I'd be interested. Because like I said, obviously everything was pre-digital. Certainly not going to be SOS, is it? It was pre-coded. So he's got word back to Moscow. Everything's as it is. There's no way it would have been a coup, but she is thinking on the same lines as how the Russian Federation works, as to how the American government works, and automatically putting 2 and 2 together and thinking that it's leading to a coup and that we're gonna go take over, and he's got the nuclear football, and you're like, it's just that's communist, this is democratic. You're not seeing the differences. I'm enjoying the show, but like I said, it's going to get very complicated. So join me for episode 5 next week. Until then, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, all episodes are available on YouTube playlists. If you do want to watch the full-length version, check the link in the description. Head over to Patreon, and they're available for you over there. Right, if you're enjoying this show, don't forget to sub to the channel as well. I'll see you for episode 5 next. Take care.